Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are back on Nordic Ashes. A few days ago we did the Ragnarok 5 with Helga, and I said if the video got 250 likes or 200 to 300 likes we would do it on Hafgrim. The problem is we didn't get that many likes, but you know what guys, we got over 100, so I'm happy with that. We're going to be doing the Hafgrim build today. We also told the Discord community that we would be doing it, so here we are. That's what today's video is about. But before we get into the video guys, only 11.3% of you are actually subscribed to the channel. 89% of you are not subscribed. You watch my videos, which is fantastic, keep it up. But guys, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, like the videos, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you know when I upload new videos. Anyway, onto the actual video. So we've got our tree over here. As you can see, with Hafgrim we don't need any attack speed whatsoever, so we've got 0 points there. We've got quite a bit of area, duration, then we've got maxed cooldown and max damage. This works for one of his constellation traits, so you do want the max cooldown. We've pathed our way down using poison, even though Hafgrim has burn damage, because it is actually cheaper, and we're focusing on the +1 projectile more than the burn or the poison. So we actually just want to go all the way down to +1 projectile, and then we've got XP and stuff in the exploration. So you can try this tree if you want, but this is how I play it for now. Anyway, let's go. We're going to grab ourselves Hafgrim. We're going to turn it on to Ragnarok 5. And now the most important thing that I found for Hafgrim with Ragnarok is, one, we don't want auto heal because his damage just isn't that great. And if you can get rid of, or if you can possibly get it that you don't have the super speed as well for the enemies, that works quite well as well. So now we are going to go first thing first straight to his Glacial Codex. Now what we're looking for is we're looking for damage, so everything must say damage on it, and then at least 2 or 3 projectiles. So over here we did get one. It doesn't say damage, but it is projectile and duration, so I am going to take it. Also, we don't have points to really re-roll that. The next one we will re-roll. We don't need that much duration. We do need the damage. It is going to be a lot more important. So now we're going to just run around, we're going to kill everything. Everything dies relatively quickly with the Glacial Codex, so we don't really have to worry too much. And we are going to just keep running around. Now, the build is very circumstantial, so please guys, try not to skip a lot of the video. I know it is very difficult to watch from beginning to end without skipping. Even for me, sometimes when I watch YouTube videos, I do tend to push the arrow button, so I tend to just click on the hotbar. We'll try add some important timestamps there, but a lot of the time I might say something with regards to the build that is in a random position and a timestamp can't be added there. So just keep in mind it is going to be more beneficial with regards to how to play him if you just watch the entire video and don't skip anywhere, because there might be times where at a non-important moment I'm going to say something that is relevant to the build and you're going to miss that. So please try watch as much as possible without clicking through if possible. But anyway, so the rest of it now, we're just going to try and kite the enemies. We're going to try and get the glacial, the glacial trail to go for the elites. That way we can just keep moving and not really worry about them hurting us. So we haven't even looked at what shrines there are at the moment, and that's okay. We're going to just work on our damage over here. Cooldown's very good, but again, just damage and everything else that it comes with. So we're actually getting quite a lot of projectiles with it, which is fantastic. That's what we're actually hoping for. So us getting 7 projectiles on the Glacial Codex is fantastic. Now with Hafgrim, his skills, well, firstly he's getting a rework eventually. We don't have a timestamp on it, but there is a rework in the works for Hafgrim. It's going to be for some of his constellations, so his traits, and then for some of his for his ulti as well. So we do have to keep our eyes peeled on that because, you know, Hafgrim is not in the greatest of spots right now compared to the other characters. Although if we compare anyone to something like Missing or Axeldor, we could say that no one's in a good spot. Anyway, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take RC Sparks. So that leaves a trail behind us which deals damage on contact with enemies. And obviously the longer your duration, the longer those sparks are going to last on the floor. So that is why duration is a key, or you know, is a spec that we look into for the build. And obviously projectiles, because the more projectiles that go out, the more RC sparks there are all over the place. So in the tree, I forgot to mention this, but we do actually grab +2 attraction. So that will be 3 points in the attraction, the perk, in the attraction zone on the tree. I don't know what you'd call it. But yeah, so we've got that over there. And now we're just going to go run around and see what relics we have. The relic part of this build is where the differential of the build comes in. So if you get a lot of fire relics, then when we play Hafgrim, we take a certain constellation trait on him. If we don't get a lot of fire relics, we take the paralyzing thunder. Now that would have been what I would have told you a week ago. But now I've been practicing on this Hafgrim and I've been seeing, you know, does that perk work really well? And unfortunately, burn damage is just, you know, very lackluster currently in the game. So what we're actually going to be doing is going for the paralyzing thunder, which increases the damage done to paralyzed enemies. And that way, we don't really have to worry about one enemy's getting a bit close to us. We're going to be paralyzing them. And then if they're paralyzed, we're also going to be doing a lot more damage to them. So we didn't really get anything major here. We're not going to re-roll because, you know, XP is not really a great thing here. So we do have to kind of, you know, keep our XP for us because it is a very, very hard thing to come by in Ragnarok 5. So no re-rolling of chests, unfortunately. You can get the re-roll chests for a couple of points in the tree, but it's really not that necessary. In the very beginning, you're going to really get something that is worth it. You know, like area is worth getting over here because it's just going to hit more people. Anyway, we've got the poison skill over there, but we don't want it. So on the right hand side, we're going to be going for unlimited. And usually I would have gone for RC burns because it worked well with burn damage. It was buffed. It used to be 25%. It's now 50% with 50% probability as well. But unfortunately, it's just too weak. So we're going to grab the paralyzing thunder, which means that they receive 25% more damage when they're paralyzed. So we go straight for a little bit of Thunder Codex. The first few levels are always going to be cooldown and damage, and then we want damage and projectiles, and we're getting a really, really good one over there. And then at a certain level, so it looks like level 7 actually, bounces becomes unlocked. And we definitely want to get this if it's only at 0 by the time we reach level 9. We want to make sure that the legendary option is going to be bounces with damage. So we want the most amount of damage out of our tree. So out of the Thunder Codex, sorry. Okay, Ragdoll's actually pretty good for Ragnarok. It gives you quite a bit of breathing space, so we can grab that. I mean, 100 enemies to kill for it is actually very easy in Ragnarok. We can just stand still over here, and the enemies are going to just walk into our RC trail and die anyway. So there we go. It would be nice if we could pick up more gold, as well as pick up a magnet. Gosh, I don't know what's going on with my brain this morning. It just doesn't want to remember words. This happens to me every once in a while, guys, so please excuse my lack of knowledge this morning. That's not really a lack of knowledge, it's just a lack of the correct words. Alright, so there's a blue potion. Let's go back to full life finally. After walking into a rat earlier. You know, these rats are dangerous. Okay, please don't be poisoned. Alright, we got a RC snowflake that just freezes enemies close to us. It's not really the greatest relic. I don't think it even does damage. But we can double check that. But it's not even worth, you know, trying to stay in there to make the timer stay low. Because, well, it just hurts. So damage for Thunder Codex is a definite over there. We did get quite a lot of cooldown already, so we don't really have to worry about that. And even more damage. So plus 10 damage to Thunder Codex, that is beautiful to see. We can actually level it again. Oof, we're getting so many projectiles, it's so good. I also just want to see something quickly. So over here, this doesn't actually deal any damage, or doesn't mention dealing any damage. So that is really unfortunate. It would have been nice to have had the skill deal damage to enemies around you as well, periodically or something like that. So if it was a damaging zone, it would be more worth grabbing it. But it just feels like there are no ice relics in the game. But hopefully with the new patch coming, there will be some new ice relics added. So we are looking forward tomorrow to new character being released. I think it will be on the beta release at least. Released at least on the beta release. It's a lot of releases there, but hopefully that works, and hopefully that can, you know, introduce new ice relics. I didn't actually think about suggesting that. So new ice relics would really, really be fantastic. And actually getting all these chests is very, very good for us, especially for damage and other things like that. I mean, as you can see, we've already got like 20-25 damage for our Thunder Codex out of these you know, these chests. Okay, we really want damage and bounces. That is amazing. We did have to spend like 4 skill points there, which isn't amazing, but getting that is fantastic. Unfortunately, we don't have a magnet, which is very sad. And I'm actually going to go over here to grab this gold. Now the thing is, we're not trying to speedrun Hafgrim. I have not worked out how to get on the leaderboards with him. I don't know how these people are doing it. This is just so that we can beat, you know, this game mode with Hafgrim on Ragnarok 5. So now we are lucky. We actually ended up getting Astrid's Orb, and why this is very good on Hafgrim is because Astrid's Orb, Hastrid, is actually a magical tool, and a lot of his skills work off magical tools, but unfortunately we're going elemental affinity, so it's not going to affect Astrid's Orb. But that does mean that we can at least ascend Astrid's Orb, and we are in a very good place there. And over here, we have actually picked up some really, really good relics. We got the Charming Fungus. We've picked up some Astrid Shield, which blocks damage and heals us. What else did we pick up there? We picked up Laugh. So that was actually a really, really good shop. Really, really happy with the results there. And now we just need to finish getting our Thunder Codex up to max level so we can ascend it. Now when we ascend it, we are going to be looking for the first Ascension. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but we're going to go for that one, and that's going to deal a lot of damage. And because we've also got the legendary bounce, so that the Thunder Codex is going to bounce between enemies 2 more times as well, which is really, really good for AoE clear. So let's get this XP that we're looking for, and let's go from there. I guess one of the strategies that people are doing is they probably rush a level 5 XP plus, and that's going to help them level up even faster. So now we're getting Lightning Explosion, and we're going to do an extra 66 to 69 damage to every enemy hit with the lightning, and it deals 138 max damage. And we're going to go work for Paralyzing Thunder now, so that we can do even more damage. So one of the negatives of Hafgrim is that we now need to pay 14 skill points to get his other constellation trees that we need for the build. 14. That is a huge amount, guys. That it's just like insane. He needs these 14 points, otherwise you are going to die. So he really needs a lot of XP, and it's really a problem for his skill tree. So maybe they could like make one or two of them cost less, or I don't know what they're going to do that's going to change him or make him more viable. But I am excited to see the changes they will be bringing to him in the future. So this I am going to reroll. I don't care. We are not going for the staff at all, so there is no way we are going to be using a chest on the staff. I needed that one level up point, but it is definitely worth it to reroll that chest. Specifically that chest, if a chest has a role for Glacial Cold Codex or Thunder Codex, then at least I can be like, well, it's not the perfect stat, but any stat on those is better than none, so we'll grab that. But we do not have anything in the staff, so it needs to be re-rolled, unfortunately. So that was a terrible chest. Unfortunately, sometimes it just goes that way and there's nothing we can do about it, but that's just the way it is. Alright, we are going to grab as much gold as possible as well, because Hafgrim does have to rely on relics a lot more than other characters do. Again, if you're playing on Axeldor, you can finish the entire R5 with a single weapon. You don't even need any relics, as long as your movement is pretty good. In the early game, you should be able to finish the entire Ragnarok 5 with a single weapon. So, you know, a lot of people used to thought Helga was extremely strong and needed a nerf, but I don't hear any of these people saying that Hafgrim needs to be nerfed when, I mean not Hafgrim, Axeldor needs a nerf, when I think his weapon is too strong and it could do with a slight nerf to it. There is a roadmap actually that is available. I'm not sure if the devs put it out on Steam or if they only released it on the Discord server. But if you are part of the Discord server, you can go take a look at the roadmap. It is very exciting with some of the things that are coming. There are going to be UI changes coming to the game eventually. There's going to be some balance changes, new character coming out, new relics, a new zone, Jotunheim, which, I mean, if you guys know anything about mythology, Jotunheim has to do with the giants, so we are assuming all the enemies are going to be huge giants, and we are excited to see what the devs are going to be bringing in that zone and what enemies we're going to be getting. Alright, so we still didn't even have enough skill points there. That's really unfortunate. We just got the last one there. So Knowledge Scroll converts our cooldown into damage. That is why cooldown on the tree is very important and why we have 5 levels placed into it, so it is max level. We do want to have the most amount of damage on Hafgrim as possible. So every trinket, even the trinket that gives you cooldown, it gives I think 50% cooldown, so it is also extremely well worth picking up that trinket. I believe the only time it would be bad is if that trinket gives you a negative in damage, but a negative in absolutely anything else from that trinket is actually okay. It doesn't really matter. Even effective probability, the percentage you have in your, your starting character is only 30%, but then the items themselves have different amounts. So if that went up to 40%, this would only go up to 49%, I believe. So if you lose 2% or 5% in effective probability, it really doesn't hurt your character that much. At least that's how I believe stats work. So interesting to know, right? Alright, kill the elites. Gotta kind of make sure we're safe, not get hit by them, because I'm pretty sure we are gonna get hit by the boss. But we got hit by them, because I'm pretty sure we're good at this game. Alright, they all dead. we kind of need to just go and collect more money while it's sitting on the floor everywhere over here. We're just going to run away from the spawns. Luckily they don't have movement speed, so we don't have to worry about him running straight onto our head until he is in his angered state. Once he becomes berserk, he will run faster and it will become a little harder. But until then, we can just chill and attack him. As you can see, Hafgrim really doesn't do well against bosses. Our damage is quite low. But let's keep going. Ooh, dodge those. That was actually pretty lucky of us. And we've got 18 skill points to use. You do have to keep moving, guys. You don't want to get hit by the orbs that they these projectiles that they spawn. As I'm busy saying that, we walk into the laser beam. So very, very good of me. As I said, I am a professional at this game. Don't try this at home. And this boss fight's taking forever. Okay, there we go, dodge them. We're going to use this now because he should die very soon. Why this is taking so long, I have no idea. Alright, there we go. Fortunately, we didn't get as much gold as we would have liked. But this is a nice one to get, plus 50% XP. We don't need attack speed, so that tonic is useless. And we're not going for poison, so that's perfect. Immunity booster is actually fantastic on him, especially on this level because most of the birds are immune to cold. So now we are going to be destroying them, which is really, really cool. And we kind of got a... That's really not worth it right now, and I can't afford it anyway. That's really sad. We'll just take projectile speed and crit, and we will grab this chest for the money that we have anyway. Let's see, it is an epic chest. Come on, give me something good. We'll go for the cooldown on the Thunder Codex. That will actually be pretty decent for damage. So we are going to take that over there. I think we should actually level up our Astrid's Orb. And we'll keep that like that for when we get 2 more levels. And we will actually be ascending Astrid's Orb, not anything else. Like I said before, if you do get a decent... Well, actually, I don't think I did say it. With Hafgrim, guys, if you get a decent weapon from the shop, so a relic that can be used on him, so Mani's bow, Mighty bow, Astrid's orb, even Sindri's axe is pretty decent damage wise. I would advise leveling them and ascending them, just because when it comes to this part of the game, the enemies are very, very strong, very healthy, and sometimes, you know, your damage just isn't there without that extra relic to kill things. So you really do have to look out for it. I do think it is a good idea to at least have one of the relics that you can pick up that is decent, that is going to allow you to you know, deal more damage, and the more damage means more clear, and more clear means you are going to be able to live a lot longer. So now we are going to run around again to collect gold, and we're going to make sure we have enough gold for the last shop, where we can then just plant as many ruins as we want, or buy as many ruins as we want, and that's really going to help us a lot. So we actually picked up the immunity destroyer, as you guys saw, and that is a huge bonus. So we could have gone and ascended Glacial Codex a second time, and that would have given us the frozen enemies would have been frozen still, so every time you freeze an enemy they stand still. It would have been really good for survivability, but like I said, we got ourselves Astrid's Orb, and because we got Astrid's Orb, the damage it gives us outweighs the frozen that you need from the Glacial Codex. So if I didn't pick up any weapon like Astrid's Orb or anything like that, then we would have gone and taken the second Ascension in the Glacial Codex. But because we picked up Astrid's Orb, we ascended Astrid's Orb. So that's why with Hafgrim, there isn't a really solid build for him, because it is quite dependent on the relics that you pick up, as to be like, okay, well, we go this route now, or okay, we go that route. So with Hafgrim, it all depends on how much or what relics you get, whereas some other characters, you know, you can use the exact same build regardless of what relics you pick up or what, you know, what you see in the shop. But that is just how it is, and we're okay with that. As long as we finish the game mode, as long as we survive and we kill Ragnar at the end, we're going to be a happy chappy. Now what we do want is to get another magnet, because there is a lot of XP on the floor here. So we need to kill these elites, because new ones are about to spawn. Try not to get hit, even though we actually just got hit twice in a row there, which isn't my fault, you know. Okay, dodge the AoEs on the floor. Alright, we've picked up a magnet. That is actually fantastic. We're killing some elites over here. There we go. Only one lot of elites left. We haven't really had much of a chance to pick up any gold, which is quite a shame. It would have been nice to have picked up a decent amount of gold, but that's okay. Once we get to Ragnar, we should be okay. Looks like we can kill these tanky knight dudes relatively quickly, so we should be in a good spot for the Ragnar fight. Picking up the chalice as a relic is probably one of the best pickups you can get, as well as it does give you a second life as well, especially if you have a lot of what would we call it, health. That's what we call it. If you have a lot of health upgrades, then you are going to be picking up a lot of that. So we do want to grab ourselves as much duration as possible over here. We're going to grab the projectiles. We're going to grab status duration. And then we're going to level up the ulti twice. So cooldown and duration, that's fine with me. And let's go kill Ragnar now. Hopefully he doesn't kill us, but we should be okay. We've got a shield and a decent amount of life as well. So we hold down, move, and it will shoot in his direction. And now we've also got the Ascended Astrid Orbs, which are going to be attacking him. Now, because they do have projectiles that they shoot out, we do have to kind of keep our range from him. And you want to anyways, because, well, he's just horrible. So we're going to keep our distance from him. There we go. He has phased. First phase done. We don't want to get hit by anything for free. No free damage coming into us today, unfortunately. So, you know, you guys can just die. When I mean you guys, I mean the enemies. Alright, we never got off a good ulti there. That is quite unfortunate. Just got to keep moving, move around him, keep our distance, dodge his attacks, dodge all of the beams, just keep moving. Luckily we have Astrid's Orb, so we can take a single hit every now and then. So we do have to just make sure that we don't get hit too many times. I'm sure the beams are going to come out now. Yes, they are. There we go. Just dodge that. And he has phased again, which is fantastic. And we've also got our ulti up again as well. We're going to just use it. It's going to help us clear out the trash mobs, which is fine. It also helps. Oops, we jumped into that. So that's not cool. but I think it just procced our passive as well, the unlimited, so that's going to help us deal more damage to him because it's going to give us the cooldown reduction and the damage. So we happy anyway with that. We just got to kind of stay over here and keep hitting him, and he should die very, very soon. We can use our ulti in that direction, and bam, he's dead. Fantastic, easy peasy. We didn't even get hit at the end there. So I hope this helped you. Our time was actually atrocious. I've done this a lot faster at times, but again, it is all very dependent on, you know, your relics and things like that. But that was it. That was R5 on on Hafgrim. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell so that you know when I upload new videos. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.